Was there anything that you wanted to see from your team tonight that you didn't see? Seems like y'all are, did pretty much what y'all wanted to do.
I thought we did a lot of really good things. I think some of those things, Olin, were some of the things that we talked about yesterday. I thought our guys received what we had to say relative to the things that as a staff we learned in Orlando. I thought the staff did a really good job of being succinct in those lessons, not just in their words, but in what we showed our guys. And I think that's one of the things that I've learned, similar to what we were talking about yesterday, is we need to give just as much energy and emotion to the growth of our team, probably more so than the opponent. Not Central Florida, not East Texas A&M, just relative to the journey that we're on in week number 1. We've got to continue to grow, and we have a lot of experience, and from experience, typically there's wisdom, and we've got to use that to our advantage. And I thought that some of the things that we have practiced, that we've shown, that we've talked about since Monday night was much more prominent tonight, which is a positive thing.
Had to be exciting to be able to see Zurich come in and, play the way that, quite frankly, maybe you would have gotten the same kind of stuff from the guy he's replacing.
Yeah, he's a really talented player, and I think his lack of reps in games thus far, his lack of reps in practice thus far, if you know his game, you saw some of that tonight, but you also saw a lot of what he can bring to us on both ends of the floor. And not only do I think he's talented on both ends of the floor, but I think he not only helps our team, but when he's on the floor, he's going to help the other 4 guys that are on the floor. I thought he was just okay. I think he would probably say that. I don't know if he's ever missed 4 free throws in a game in his life. He's not going to play with a 4 turnover rate in 17 minutes. But we are glad that he was out there, and we were going to try to keep him somewhere between 16 and 18 minutes, so that we kind of planned some of that. That worked out pretty good too.
How neat was it for him to play his younger brother tonight, and said his dad was able to come, basketball family?
They just mentioned that on the radio. I would be curious when you write your story, like how many times has that happened in recent memory? How many brothers play Division I basketball? That has to be a low number. And then a drastically even lower number that they would play against one another. I don't think it's happened very often. So we would not have played Zoo if he had not been medically cleared. But that he has been cleared and was able to participate in this game, I think is a special thing for his entire family. And I know that they felt that way long before the game was played. That was one of the things when he initially was injured. That was a topic that was brought up, wondering how long he would be out and all those things. So I'm glad it worked out the way that it did.
You had to be pretty pleased that the number of times you were able to get to the basket. It's like 32 points right at the rim.
Yeah, so without revealing a lot of things, I may have said it to you yesterday at when we were visiting. So at Central Florida, 57% of our shots were in the charge circle. We call those rim shots. And tonight, 55% of our shots were in the charge circle. That's a great number. Like we would always take that. We did not finish at the rim at Central Florida. We shot 33 layups, and we only made 15. And tonight we made 70% of our layups. So we have practiced that. That is important. I don't know if we can keep up a rim shot selection of 50% or more at the rim, but if you can finish at the rate we did tonight, it sure does help your OER.
looks like Andy was he played the highest with 22 minutes. Is it a good thing when early on in the season you can get that kind of deep rotation and not put so many minutes on guys in games like this?
I think we got to figure that out. It's too early. Obviously, Zoo's only played one. Solo's first game was at Central Florida. He didn't play in either scrimmage. So I think some of that we're still trying to sort through. I do not anticipate we will be able to play in essence 11 guys, double-figure minutes in essence. I think the shorter your rotation gets, trying to solve that problem as fast as we can, that's got to be part of our growth rate, is figuring out which of those guys can impact winning regardless of opponent, and sort through that. And I think it's still, honestly, it's still a little too early. I think Zoo's probably going to play more than 18 minutes, but I didn't think that he could come out and play 30 minutes in game number one, nor did I think anybody needed to play more than probably what they did tonight, because we need this evidence to sort through who's going to be in that main group.
Hayden went scoreless against UCF. How satisfying was it from a coach's point of view to see him go out there, make two big blocks, and then also shoot well from the 3-point line?
Yeah, he's going to be in that group that we got to figure out. Relative to the last 25 high major games we've played in, obviously H has been a part of all of those, including the two high major teams we played in October, so that puts us to 27. Not to be negative towards East Texas, but we got to start sorting through that, because we're playing less East Texas than we've ever played since we've been here, and we're playing more quad ones and quad twos than we've ever had, and so we don't have minutes or possessions on either end to be inefficient or to be empty. And that doesn't mean H or anybody is going to play perfect, but we can't give away minutes trying to ascertain if that particular minute or segment of time, if they're going to impact winning.
What did you think of the team's response this week, coming off of that season opening loss, to come out and produce a performance like they had tonight?
Yeah, I thought their maturity was excellent, and I don't think we have an immaturity problem. I think we have to use our maturity and our experience and our wisdom to our advantage, and within that maturity and experience, our growth rate has to be really fast relative to the schedule that we're going to play. And so in truth, we're going to have to respond in real time in order to achieve the growth rate needed in order for us to have the success that we would like to have. We're not going to be able to give hours or minutes away to emotional kumbaya sessions. We've done that in the past. A lot of teams do that. We just don't have that margin now. And so in real time, I've got to do a better job of succinctly telling the truth, and their absorption rate has to be at a very high percentage in real time, just as importantly.
The team shot almost an identical percentage from the free throw line. How crucial is that going to be with a couple big out-of-conference games coming up?
Yeah, I don't think Zoo will miss 4 free throws again, personally. I have been encouraged by Gochi. He was 3 of 5 at Central Florida. He went 1 of 2 tonight in his first attempt. That put him to 4 of 6. Then he went 1 of 2 again. That put him to 5 of 8. And then obviously he must have went 0 for 2 again. He's a 40% Big Ten free throw shooter. He shot 2,500 free throws that I rebounded. He shot more than that I rebounded in the month of October. And this morning he was 100 free throw makes out of 126 attempts. He is aware we need him to shoot a higher percentage I think Mo shot a poor percentage at Central Florida. Gochi was 3 of 5. Somebody else was an outlier stat. The problem at Central Florida was we only shot 15, and the biggest problem of the 15 is 4 only shot 2.
Plus, I'm curious in that situation, do you work on his form? Or, tell him, or do you just let him shoot him?
I think some of it, he's a really good kid. I know you don't know him yet, but like he has a really good way about him. And there has been a lot of new information come his way since he's been here from a strategic standpoint. A lot of things he's never heard before. But he's heard a lot of free throw diagnosis, I think. So the only thing, basically I just try to have a counseling session with him every morning at 5:30. But the one thing that we have tried to touch on is, like most bigs, his entire hand covers the entire ball. And so as a right-handed shooter, when your left hand is on top of the ball, as you're shooting it, the ball starts spinning funny. And so we've adjusted his left hand a little bit. That's one thing. And I'm not saying I know how to shoot free throws. And so I'm breaking up what I'm saying so it doesn't go on social media like I have all the answers. And then we've also tried to pause his pocket. And, like even the free throws that he missed tonight, I didn't think they were bad misses. I probably am paying a little bit too much attention to his free throws during the game because we're giving so much time to it off time. But if he gets fouled in practice, anytime he gets fouled, the team has been very receptive to every free throw. Every time you get fouled is a 1-and-1. You have to make the first to get to the second, whether it was a shooting foul or not, just so he feels a little bit more manufactured pressure. And he hasn't, to his credit, Brent, he's been great. On Thursday morning, I wasn't able to shoot with him. And as soon as practice started, I shake the kid's hands every day as soon as I see him. As soon as I shook his hand, he goes, "Coach, I made 79." Like he told me, because we charted every day. So I think there's some mental to it, but I think he's on the positive side of that now. And I think he's received some of the physical adaptations we've changed, and I think it's helped.
Wade's got 13 assists already this year. How impressed are you with his passing through just the first couple games?
Ford likes our team. Ford likes them. Yes, as people, but he likes the choices available as a quarterback. And I think he's probably more aware of how their impact, whoever they are, in an unselfish way, helps his impact. And the combination of the two has probably been a little different than it was last year. I think the year before there was some symmetry, and I think some of that will happen when Zoo gets going full speed. But 6-2, I think at Central Florida, zero problems with any of that. The inefficiencies that he had were not because of the run your team part of his game. Not getting to the free throw line, 13 shots on 15 points. I don't think that's 4. And he's won about 10 times more games for us than he's lost. So I'm not saying that in a negative way, but he was much more efficient tonight in time score momentum. But I think his "I'm going to make our team better" has started at a really high rate.